So we're going to start the show today by congratulating the late, great Nipsey Hussle. He got, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It was a great celebration of his life. Again, 37th birthday. He would have been 37 years old today, and we got to see him be celebrated. You know how it was, the whole big event. They had it broadcasting live. Lauren London came up there, gave a beautiful speech. They had his mom there as they unveiled the actual star on the floor. And so, just a nice, lovely moment for his family. His brother was there as well, Black Sam. And just, another great moment for L.A. when he passed away. It hurt a lot of people's heart. He had a big funeral. So many people came. It was like, it was in the Staples Center. It was like when Michael Jackson passed and had that big old stadium funeral. And, I saw YG was there. They was homies. Like, that really affected YG when he passed away. I saw him up there posing next to the star. Just a real good look for a really solid brother who unfortunately, was taken away from us way too soon. And before he really got into this rap thing on another level and all his other business ventures that he had, with his brother's clothing line and anything else, he was looking into. He also had, I believe that, the film on I can't think of the doctor's name, the one they say he cured AIDS or he cured cancer. But yeah, he had a documentary on that Nick Cannon took over and put out. So it was a really nice look for him. And once again, it was a really nice look for his family to be able to have something, once again, to appreciate it and enjoy the person that they, of course, all miss. Lauren London being, as elegant as possible and allowing his mother to have that moment, the family to have that moment of the actual star being shown. She got up there and said some beautiful things about him. Lauren London is really the type of woman you hope to have when something happens to you, if something happens to you, because she gonna be respectful to the family and make them feel part of it, not try to alienate them. But I think it's a problem that a lot of women have nowadays, where they be like, I'm the woman, this is my family, and sometimes push the family away, and I've seen a lot of people be like that when they get a woman. They just kind of like push their family away for that woman, unfortunately. But Lauren London, she's a good one, good person, great person, and is really helping with keeping Nipsey Hussle's legacy alive. Now, all that being said, and like I said, this was I wanted to say congratulations for that honor and get that to them. But of course, we got to get into some of the negatives. So Wack 100 was on Clubhouse and he was talking about it. He was talking about Nipsey getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And he was saying that it's crazy that Nipsey Hussle's getting this, and you got some legends who's put work in the game, got legendary catalogs that don't got no star. And he was listing a lot of people who did have stars. He was listing people like Dr. Dre. Yeah, he was listing people like Ashanti. He was listing other people. He didn't say Cube, but Cube was another one that he that got a star fairly recently. He might even say something about 50 when he got his. But he was listening to a bunch of people, a lot of greats who got their star, and he just was saying, like, it's just crazy that you're going to put Nipsey Hussle in this same category. Now, if you know Wack, he's been saying a lot of stuff about Nipsey. Famously, he said it this day too. Wack famously has said that Nipsey Hussle was not a legend when he passed away. He hadn't done enough to be considered a legend. He had dropped one album. And Wack was saying, a lot of people wasn't really on Nipsey till after he passed away, and they started to research on him and look into him and seeing a lot of the good for the community that Nipsey was doing, and seeing his character in interviews and what he spoke. And a lot of people just kind of got into Nipsey again after his passing, and it showed in Nipsey's music. A lot of it went up after he passed away. So Wack's on there speaking about that, and of course Wack let it slip when he was talking to Hassan Campbell. Hassan Campbell was recording him that there's a sex tape of Nipsey, doing a threesome with another man and his baby mama, Nipsey's baby mama, and the man finishes in her mouth, and Nipsey's grabs her and tongue kisses her as that happened. And That was a leak, a recording that, or that was a recording that Hassan Campbell put out to show, how Wack be talking, behind closed doors. So it's a lot of people that already feel like Wack has got issues with Nipsey, and Wack wants to embarrass Nipsey, hates Nipsey, wants to try to put him down at every turn. It's also been Nipsey's brother, Black Sam, took or didn't clear Nipsey's verse on the Game's album. So Game couldn't put Nipsey on the album. So that's been causing a lot of controversy. And Wack 100 is the Game's manager, so that would be why. So I'm gonna say this, man. I know how Wack is. I know who Wack is. I know he's a manipulator. I know he likes to try to, get under people's skin and contradicts himself. And I've heard him do all of it. I've heard him say, stay out of LA business. Say he never said stay out of LA business, and then say it again. I've heard him on tape say, he got knocked out, and he said he didn't get knocked out. I've heard a lot from Wack. I hear how he try to change subject on arguments, take it to a different direction, don't really answer what the person is saying, start to going on about another topic that got nothing to do with what they were saying. So I understand all that. But I gotta say, I do agree with Wack. I don't agree with Wack always having to say something, because at this point, I'm just not gonna say nothing no more. But I do agree with Wack that, Nipsey would not have been my first choice. And it's something I've actually been seeing a lot with the Walk of Fame, where it's a lot of people who, just me personally, I would not give a star to. When I think of a star on the Walk of Fame, that's kind of like getting into the Hall of Fame. You get the best of the best in the Hall of Fame. You don't just put anybody in. Yeah, you may have been a good player, solid player, but when the Hall of Fame is for, I'd look at like the elites of the business. There have been some celebrities who I feel like got a star too early, and the rest of their career didn't show that. I think of somebody like Cuba Gooding Jr. getting a star, and now it's like, he had like a hot moment and he got a star. And then I look at people like, Kenan Thompson, he got a star on the Walk of Fame, and it's like, you cool and all, but you ain't got that legendary career, You're not like that big name that everybody's gonna know that is affecting a generation of people. That cultural presence of a whole generation, a few generation of people. You had a nice, Kenan and Kel was cool, and you was on Saturday Night Live, and it's like cool stuff. Like, but you not that dude. Even Morris Chestnut, who I love Morris Chestnut, he's been in a lot of movies. His movies aren't that big though. They're big to us in our culture, but when I think of Hall of Fame, I think of somebody who touches everybody, like a Will Smith or a Sam Jackson or a Denzel Washington. Like, that's Hall of Fame. And I would give that smoke to people who was white that I felt like wouldn't be that big. I can't think of nobody off the top of my head that's white that's in the Hall of Fame. That's in the Walk of Fame. That got a Hollywood star, Walk of Fame. I can't think of nobody off the top of my head that I would say is a lower caliber of entertainer, whatever their field is that they got it for. But I say all that to say, look, I love Nipsey. I really do. I think he's great. He stood for a great message. But I have to agree with Wack that he wasn't that level of star. He wasn't that caliber of star to be put up there with the greats. And not saying that he couldn't be, but he hadn't reached that yet. I just don't think that Nipsey Hussle, in all honesty, if we being honest, is at the level of star to get to be on a Hollywood Walk of Fame. But I will also say that Wack don't need to say nothing. And when it comes from you, and it seems like you always got something negative to say, and it seems like there's always these negative things coming from you, at some point, bro, why do you care? I had to even stop, because I was like, Morris Chestnut? I was Kenan Thompson. Why are they giving just anybody? And I was like, you know what? Why do I even care? Congratulations to those brothers. Congratulations to Nipsey Hussle. I may not think that you done enough to warrant that, but I don't care. It's a great moment. You being celebrated. I ain't hating on you, bro. And it really don't affect my life what you get or don't get on the Walk of Fame. That don't mean nothing to me. And hey, you take it and you got it. You there. So that's what's up. And I just wish that Wack would kind of back off a Nip, because it's just looking like hate at this point. Even if it's not, when you always have to say something about this man and it's never in no positive mood, I think he put something out about what was that? One of the anniversaries, maybe the first year anniversary of Nipsey's passing. He had people talking about how great Nipsey was, but other than that, it's been just, it's over, bro. Like you said your piece. You want to keep beating this dead horse. All it's doing is causing problems for your artist. Game couldn't even get him cleared because of the way you've been talking. You've been talking crazy, and you want to put that on them and say that, you know, his brother Black Sam ain't doing right, and keeping him on music will keep his legacy alive. You can't be expecting people to do favors for people that's connected to you, your artists, when you keep running your mouth like this. So I don't know, man. Like I said, at the end of the day, I don't think that Nipsey was the caliber star to be on the Walk of Fame, but I'm not going to be hating, and I hope that Wack can stop talking, because it sounds like strong hate at this point for this man who's not even alive no more to be able to defend himself. So just, you stated your piece. We know how you feel. If somebody come to you and ask you, okay, you can speak, but just keep on, you know, it seems like having a problem with everything. And again, I understand the point that you're making, and I agree with the point, but you said it, and that's it. We know how you feel. It's done.
It's the WACCast podcast. Yeah.
Talk Wack to me. Talk Wack to me.
Yeah.
Talk Wack to me. Talk Wack to me.
It's the WACCast podcast. Yeah.
Talk Wack to me. Talk Wack to me.
Yeah.
Talk Wack to me. Talk Wack to me.